Okay, let's unpack this. Artificial intelligence. Why is it suddenly the biggest conversation starter in language education right now? It really feels like almost overnight, every language app just grew an AI brain.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just a trend. I'd say it's a massive shift and, well, a necessary one. Think about it. Globalization means we all need to connect faster, right? And AI tech has just exploded in its ability to um, bring real change and efficiency to learning languages.
And the numbers really show that people are buying in. One source we looked at mentioned Duolingo. Their daily active users shot up, hitting 341 million, according to a 2025 report. That's huge. It shows that we as learners are definitely leaning into this tech.
Exactly. And what's fascinating, but also a bit challenging, is the speed of it all. It means we really need a kind of roadmap. So our mission here in this deep dive is pretty systematic. We want to explore the real advantages, but also the serious limitations and where this is all heading. The goal is so that you, listening, can figure out how to navigate this new world, effectively and responsibly.
Okay, let's jump right into the benefits then. We hear personalization all the time, but what's AI actually doing for learners today? Like, stuff traditional methods couldn't really manage.
Well, the first massive change is truly customized learning. AI lets us move beyond that old one-size-fits-all syllabus. It designs customized learning paths, and it does this using data about the learner.
How deep does that analysis go, though? Because I wonder if everything is customized, is there a risk you end up learning in a bubble, only seeing things you're already kind of comfortable with?
That's a really important question. The analysis is quite deep. It looks at your exact proficiency level, sure, but also your specific goals,
Mm.
your weak spots, maybe it's grammar for you, maybe vocabulary, and even what you're interested in personally. The main idea is personalized teaching for each individual. Hmm. So, for example, you mentioned Duolingo. Apps like that use internal AI, sometimes even give them nicknames like Bird Brain, to figure out your skills and adjust the difficulty of exercises in real time. It keeps you in that sweet spot, right on the edge of being challenged. That's really the best state for learning.
Right, that instant adjustment, making it just right. That sounds powerful. So where does the interactive part fit in? Like talking to a chatbot, maybe ChatGPT, how does that help with daily practice?
That's where the instant and accurate learning feedback comes in. You can type a sentence, and these chatbots can spot grammatical errors almost immediately and offer suggestions. Or if you're practicing speaking, many tools have voice reading functions for pronunciation help. And you can actually have interactive dialogue exercises with a sort of virtual partner.
So it's definitely not just about static quizzes anymore. It feels like it's moving towards creating these like immersive learning worlds.
Exactly. AI brings together these vast and diverse learning resources. It uses big data, sure,
Right.
but also technologies like VR, virtual reality, and AR,
Uh-huh.
augmented reality, to simulate really realistic communication scenarios.
Yeah.
So say you need business English, the AI could pull in materials from actual business meetings. So you practice with real contextual language. And this breaks down the old limits of time and space. You can learn during that fragmented time, your commute, a short break. It's super convenient.
Okay, so the convenience and personalization are clear wins.
And we should definitely talk about the quantified results too. Studies actually back this up. Research on English learners showed that using AI tools had a significant positive impact across all skills, grammar, vocab, reading, writing. And importantly, it also boosted what we call L2 motivation and helped learners manage their own study time better. That's self-regulated learning.
Wow, okay, that's a pretty phenomenal upside. The efficiency is clearly real, but like with any powerful tech, we have to look at the other side, the blind spots. What are the key human, maybe ethical risks we need to think about?
Well, first, we have to consider the emotional and cultural gaps. The most obvious one is the lack of emotional interaction. AI just isn't good at reading nonverbal cues, right? Things like facial expressions, tone of voice, body language. It doesn't have that emotional warmth. And that can create communication barriers that, a human teacher would navigate naturally.
Yeah, language is so much about human connection, and that relies on all those subtle cues.
Precisely. And second, there's often insufficient cultural context. Language and culture are just so deeply connected. AI often struggles with deep cultural meanings. Social rules, slang, metaphors. Think about understanding a complex historical reference or the nuance in some slang phrase. AI's basic analysis might just miss that completely.
And then there are the technical issues, right? Like fairness. Algorithms aren't neutral, are they? They just reflect the data they learn from.
That leads straight into algorithmic bias. It's a major concern. Because AI models are usually trained on the most common linguistic patterns, the data shows a clear gap in trust. Non-native speakers, particularly those from Asian and African backgrounds, tend to trust the AI's feedback less. Their trust scores are around 0.65, compared to 0.85 for native speakers. The bottom line is pretty stark. If your speech doesn't match the training data closely, the AI's confidence in its feedback drops by over 20%. That's a huge difference.
Wow. So if you have an accent that's less common in the data or use different sentence structures, the AI might not be assessing you fairly. That's really crucial for learners to know.
Absolutely. And then there are the data privacy and security risks. These AI apps collect a lot of sensitive data voice recordings, what you like to learn, how you learn. Our sources actually point out that the education sector is, maybe surprisingly, one of the hardest hit by data breaches. And many traditional AI models have what's called a high privacy risk index.
Okay, privacy is a big one. And finally, what about how we behave? The risk of excessive dependence.
Yes, and this might be the biggest concern for the individual learner. If you get too used to just asking the AI for the answer directly, you miss out on chances to figure things out yourself, to do that independent analysis. Plus, AI isn't perfect. It can give wrong information. And if you just accept it without checking, you risk developing bad habits or learning things incorrectly.
Right. Okay, let's try and make this more concrete with a couple of examples. First, Duolingo again. We know it's popular and seems effective. How are they using AI behind the scenes? And does it help the people making the lessons too?
Yeah, so that 10-week study we mentioned confirmed it works well. Better achievement, better motivation compared to traditional classes. Internally, besides those bird brain models for setting difficulty, they use large language models, LLMs, for creating content.
LLM. So those are like super smart assistants for the lesson creators. They tell the AI what to write.
Pretty much, yeah. A human expert writes a detailed prompt, basically, instructions for the AI. They might say, generate an A2 level Spanish exercise using both the preterite and imperfect tenses. And the AI generates it, which makes creating new lesson content much, much faster for the human designers.
That's interesting. So AI is supporting the teachers or creators as well as the students. Okay, now for the second case study, conversational practice. There was a study with Turkish learners of English using ChatGPT for speaking. How did that go? What did they find?
Overall, the learners actually had a pretty positive view. They felt the chatbot was effective for practice. A key thing was that it provided useful scaffolding. It adjusted the language complexity to their level, which was B1. One student even said it felt as if there had been a human chatting with them.
But I imagine chatting with an AI, even a clever one, isn't always smooth sailing. What problems did they run into?
No, it wasn't perfect. They definitely hit some snags. The chatbot sometimes misunderstood what they were trying to say. Sometimes it gave answers that were way too long. And yes, occasionally, it provided incorrect information, maybe the most telling detail. One student actually had to tell the AI directly, wait until I finish writing, just to keep the conversation flowing.
Huh. Being constantly interrupted by your AI tutor. That little story really proves why knowing how to guide the AI, that digital literacy piece, is so important now. You have to drive the tool.
It really does highlight that, yes.
So thinking about the future then, where is this all heading in the next couple of years? What's the ideal path forward, according to the experts?
Well, the main trend seems to be moving towards human-AI collaboration, what we're calling the hybrid model. The idea is that AI should enhance the teacher, not replace them. Let AI handle the efficiency stuff like instant feedback, personalization. But human teachers provide those crucial elements AI just can't. Deep understanding of context, cultural sensitivity, and that vital emotional support.
Which means we need the technology itself to be better,
Right.
right? And safer.
Exactly. The focus needs to be on creating truly ethical AI systems. These are the ones shown to have the lowest privacy risks and the highest user trust. And that involves working on a few key areas. First, fairness, using smarter techniques so the AI better represents diverse accents and ways of speaking. Second, transparency, making models that can actually explain why they made a correction. That's explainable AI or XAI. And finally, security, using top-notch methods to really protect all that user data, like voice recordings, that these systems need.
Okay, we've covered a lot, the power, the pitfalls. So for the learner listening right now, maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed, but wanting to use these tools well, what are, say, 3 concrete, actionable steps they could take starting today?
Okay, 3 steps. First, cultivate autonomous learning. You really have to resist the urge to just let the AI give you the answer straight away. Actively challenge yourself. Maybe intentionally leave some blanks. Try to figure it out yourself first, then ask the AI. Force that self-analysis.
Okay, be proactive, don't just consume. What's number 2?
Second, demand specificity and guide the AI. Remember that digital literacy point. It's
Yeah.
key. If you're using a chatbot like ChatGPT, be specific. Use clear prompts. Tell it exactly what you need. Give me a B1 level conversation. Or maybe please keep your answers short, like 3 sentences max. That helps you control the flow and keep the practice relevant to your needs.
Makes sense. Be the driver, not the passenger. And the third essential step.
Third, prioritize the hybrid model in your own learning. Never, ever rely only on AI for the deep cultural stuff or for real emotional communication practice. Use AI for the drills, the practice, the instant feedback. It's great for that. But always make sure you supplement it. Seek out real human interaction or authentic cultural materials, books, films, travel, whatever works for you, to fill in those cultural gaps AI inherently has.
That's a fantastic summary. It feels like the key challenge isn't really whether AI can teach languages anymore, but whether we, the learners, can manage its incredible power without losing that vital human element of communication and connection. Maybe the real skill we need to develop isn't just learning the language with AI, but learning how to use the AI effectively to truly serve our goals. Thank you for joining this deep dive today.
Before you go, remember this. Every word you learn makes you stronger. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. You'll find more lessons, more stories, and more English practice to help you feel confident in any situation. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who might need it. Let's keep learning together. See you in the next lesson.